Last NFL game I want to talk about, the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Buffalo Bills handedly, 35-10. And for the Bills, I don't think there's too much to take away from this loss. It's a bad loss for sure, losing by 25. But the Ravens are a very, very good team, despite their 2-2 record at this point. And this is a team that you're going to be competing with for the AFC crown. So to that extent, yes, it's bad to lose to another contender in your division by this much in your conference. But I think that the Bills will be able to learn from this loss because it was not a pretty loss by any means. It wasn't close at all. So I think, they're going to be able to watch film on this game, and by the next time, if they have to play the Ravens in the playoffs, they'll be more prepared and ready to put up a fight. But for the Ravens, this team I really want to focus on, they finally look in form. Derrick Henry had a great game, 200 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, he got off to a little bit of a slow start to the year. The Ravens, during the second half of the Week 1 game, they didn't really use him much at all. And that's a trap that the Ravens have fallen into recently, where if they get down, they go away from what works. And that makes sense to an extent. You want to pass, because then it can stop the clock if a play isn't successful. But the Ravens sometimes lean so much in the pass and just forget the run game entirely when they're down. And so that has been a problem for them. But they look back in form now. This was a huge win against another top AFC team. And I think the Ravens, with this, we can say, hey, they're finally ready. They figured things out. It's taken a month, but they finally figured things out, and they're ready to fight for the AFC again, because what we had seen to this point was not that. This looked like a Ravens team that was demoralized after losing in the AFC Championship last year, and a team that just wasn't ready to compete with other top AFC teams, but they proved on Sunday night that they have what it takes, and the Baltimore Ravens are back. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you could find it in you to like, subscribe, maybe check out the full podcast on Spotify, follow us on there, follow us on Instagram. I know realistically this podcast isn't going to go anywhere ultimately, whether it's via the segments on YouTube or the entire podcast itself. But I want to get into the sports broadcasting business. I want to be able to promote thought-provoking discussions about the NBA, and I would love to do it via State of the Association. Thank you if you made it all the way through.